Hi and welcome back. Good to have you here. I'm continuing my NF journey with a track called All I Have. So far in my NF journey, I've done intro and I've done mansion. So I'm doing these in order, well, the correct order, I hope. I'm still really early into my NF journey and I'm absolutely loving what I've heard so far. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Stuart. Pleased to meet you. I'm a practicing accredited psychotherapist from the UK, and I specialise in working with people who have experienced trauma. And I try and talk about some of my experiences, some of my clinical knowledge and opinion as reactions to music videos that people have recommended that I listen to. So today we have All I Have. According to YouTube, that came out around 8 years ago, and it's had 44 million views to date. So it's an absolute whopper of a tune. I'm well late to this. I am well late to the NF party, but nevertheless, better late than never. Or should I say better Nate than never? I'm going to stop talking now and let's get straight into this.
All I ever wanted was somebody to hear me, and all I ever wanted was somebody to feel me. And everybody wanna tell me that I'm out of my head when I'm on the mic, that's fine, but that don't scare me. It's been a long time, but I'm back now. Rap out, welcome to the rap house. Rap out where I live till I pass out. Blackout, everybody keep on wondering if I still rap now. Are you serious? Anybody out there hearing this? I came in the game as a lyricist, and I'ma leave like that, period. You sniff lines, I'll write lines. You've now entered in my mind, and you better get ready, cause
those first two lines. All I ever wanted was somebody to hear me. All I ever wanted was somebody to feel me. Do you know how often I hear that in my practice? Now, not straight away, but after some time of relationship building and trust building and safety building, especially with people who have experienced childhood trauma, which we know NF has from his mansion track. And they're quite often afraid of relationships, but at the same time, they want them. And that's a hard thing to try and balance. But it makes loads of sense. If you've been hurt, if you've been rejected, if you've been abandoned by people before, or they've put you through pain, why would you risk that happening again? But at the same time, a lot of us have this inherent need for connection with others. You know, we want that. And that's a really hard thing to balance. And if you're on the kind of the receiving end of this relationship, then that can be really frustrating to some people, especially if they don't understand this, but it is perfectly understandable. You know, we need to be, instead of being frustrated, we need to be patient and compassionate. And there's a line there, you sniff lines, I write lines. And it feels very connected to intro where he's saying, look, I'm here. You other people spending your time sniffing lines and messing about. Well, you know, I've been through what I've been through and I'm here being productive and I'm chasing my dreams. I'm moving forward. You know, really good to hear.
period. You sniff lines, I'll write lines. You've now entered in my mind, and you better get ready, cause you might find I'm from a different place in my kind. It's a little bit different than yours. Quit snoring, hip-hop isn't dead. It's just been in the morning. From the moment I quit recording, quick record this. Listen, I'm warming up and you're misinformed. If you think that I'm slipping up, this ain't sick enough, then I'll skip the chorus. I've been here, ain't nobody heard of me. Yeah, I'ma turn this beat to a murder scene. I don't live for the world, I live for the king. I live for the king. Focus, wrote this with emotion. It's hard to get a break when the doors ain't open. It's hard to get a shot when the gun ain't loaded. And it's hard to make a living when nobody wanna notice. Hold it, what am I, insane? Maybe playing crazy. You put me in a room with a mic, you will not restrain me. You do what you want, but you can't contain me. Lazy is not a character trait of mine. Don't wait in line. This is the current condition of my state of mind. Don't tell me that this is.
He said something there. It's hard to get a break when the doors ain't open. And it's hard to get a shot when it's not loaded. Again, this talking about difficulties of finding opportunities and how hard it is to make it in this industry. Yeah, he's doing it. But actually, I think there's a little bit more to unpick here. There's a kind of a wider thing going on. And this is something that I've been thinking about recently. So forgive me if I go off on a bit of a tangent here, as this is connected to kind of my passion. It's connected to my PhD and my original research that I'm currently doing. And that's looking at how can we better support people who have experienced trauma, you know, especially childhood trauma. But loads of children, teenagers, adolescents who've been through what NF has often don't seem to get as many opportunities presented to them. The doors aren't opening for them. It feels like they don't get as many breaks or as many chances to make it. And I have no idea what NF's life was like outside of the experiences that he spoke about. I don't know how long that went on for and what happened afterwards. I don't know much about how that impacted his friendships, his peer relationships, if it impacted his education in terms of going to school or college or finding work. But I do know that children and teenagers who have experienced this still do have hopes and dreams. And these hopes and dreams should be supported. But quite often, and I don't have any real direct evidence of this other than what people have told me about their experiences, but quite often the people who should be caring for these vulnerable people, and I don't mean all of the people who are caring, but some of them do this, or the young people perceive this to be the case. But they often think that these young people won't amount to much. And this is one of the biggest issues I have with the famous adverse childhood experiences study, is it leads to people thinking that kids who have been exposed to these ACEs or these adverse childhood experiences are predisposed to all kinds of problems. And because they're predisposed, there's no point, putting too much effort into them. But it's just simply not right. So they don't think that these children will amount to much and they will never reach these hopes and dreams that they have. So they don't really put much effort into supporting them. And this is a whole systemic issue around this. But even if the hopes and dreams are a bit overly ambitious, professional footballer, professional boxer, famous rapper, those kind of things, let's not forget that, let's not just focus on the end point. Let's not forget there's a journey involved here. Take being a pro boxer. Well, that involves, a journey of getting fit, of physical training, of eating well, of learning about nutrition, of dedication, motivation, and discipline. Opens up meeting like-minded people in the gym, finding mentors through coaches. What young person would not benefit from that? Let's give them these chances and these opportunities. Right, that's enough of that. Sorry, NF, sorry, subscribers, bit of a rant.
State of mind. Don't tell me that this isn't real. Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. This is all I have, all I have.
When he says this is all I have there, it kind of looks like he's gesturing to the mic in front of him. And so far in the video, it's just him and the mic. Let me just. And actually, think about it, intro, as in the track intro, had no one else in it. It was just him walking down that town, walking through that town. Mansion didn't have a video at all. So is there something here? Is there a theme here about stripped back videos, just him, maybe him and a mic? Because that's his journey. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how this progresses.
All I ever wanted was somebody to play this. Yeah, take my song, put it on they play, and get goosebumps every time they play it. Waiters, this my calling and not father. Maybe I should just not bother. Go back to that 9 to 5, but I am not a quitter, so quit that. I never been a killer, but I guarantee I kill tracks. Put him in the coffin, lost it. Rip that, trying to make an impact in rap. Is that insane? Well, I guess so. Rap though, but it give me that pencil, and you ain't never gonna make it. It's all mental. I am in a place where I can't let go. I still work a job and do this, and y'all know it's stupid. I thought all you had to do was get a record deal and yo, things start moving. But that's not the case, because most of the time, the artists you hear, you keep on thinking that artist is new, but that artist has probably been at it for years. Yeah, in the back of my mind thinking, am I wasting my time dreaming? And I ain't got no money in my wallet, but I guarantee no way that I ain't gonna leave this. I need this, I swear to y'all, I need this. And this hip-hop's in my veins, if you cut me, I'ma bleed it. And yo, what you think I write raps for no reason? No. Take my pain and I put them in the song. Ever since them pills, they took my mind. I've been a different person. Don't try to predict my verses. What you're hearing now is me, whether I'm in front or behind that curtain.
Well, I've got to just touch upon that. Let's just pause it there quickly. First of all, something I noticed during that was he's saying that even though he's put loads of work into this and he's got to where he wanted, he's been signed for a record label, that's not the end of it. It doesn't end there. He's still continuing to have to work hard. So, there's There's kind of no easy route to this for him. And then he's saying, I take my pain and I put them in my songs ever since my mum took the pills, something like that. And I say this often, there's pain in your values and there's values in your pain. Or to put another way, we care where we hurt and we hurt where we care. And please forgive me if you've kind of heard me talk about this before. I think I talked about this in my high Ren reaction. But the things that cause us the most pain are the things that we care about the most. Otherwise, they wouldn't cause us pain. So NF uses this pain and this message that the pain's sending him to make music about because it's so meaningful to him. And something I quite often ask my clients is, what would it mean to you if you didn't worry about something or if you weren't anxious about something? And the answer usually is it would mean that they didn't care about it. So what would they rather have? Something important and meaningful that they care about, which brings along with it some worry, some anxiety or some pain, or not have that important and meaningful thing in the first place in their life, but it also means it won't cause them any of that pain. So it's that two sides of a coin thing again. You can't have one side without the other. You can't have the side of pain without the side of the meaningful and important thing. They unfortunately come together and they can't be unstuck. And he's probably experienced a whole ton of emotions about his mum. And he says he's been a different person. Don't try to predict his verses. You know, we all deal with things differently. Don't try to guess what I'm experiencing. I've got the mic. I've got a message. I'm going to tell you what I've been through. Don't you worry about that. And I think, and you know, I hear that a lot from kind of the teenagers and adolescents that I work with. You know, this kind of chorus really resonates with that. That people are constantly trying to tell them what they should feel, what they shouldn't feel, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what they can do, what they can't do, all those kind of things. And not just listening to them and being with them and their experience. It's so frustrating.
Don't try to predict my verses. What you're hearing now is me. Whether I'm in front or behind that curtain, I stand behind these words. I'm a Christian, but I'm not perfect. Don't tell me to calm down, I'm calm now. Listen, I'm just working. Yeah, it might take a minute to get it, but once you get it, everything will be crystal clear. I don't think they see my vision here. I don't think they see my vision here. Don't tell me that this isn't real. Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. Oh, this is all I have, all I have. Don't tell me that this isn't real. Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. Oh, this is all I have, all I have. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me that this isn't real. Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. Oh,
Oh. Oh, you got goosebumps.
This isn't real.
Ooh.
This is all that I have. This is all that I have.
Oh, I've got goosebumps after that last chorus. I'm not sure what it's called in music terms when it kind of layers on top of each other, as NF was doing there with him doing the backing vocals and on top of his chorus, and it was building up. But man, he's talented and he can sing. And that, you know, the words don't tell me that this isn't real. This is all I have. And you know, again, that feels like a bit of a callback to that sentence about what happened to his mum and people not telling him what to feel. But also in general terms, in the whole kind of concept of this song is just, you know, stop telling me to feel what you think I should feel. I'm doing things my way. And again, I feel that connection to those teenagers I work with people who are telling them what they shouldn't or shouldn't feel. I've already said that. You know, people trying to take away their hopes and dreams and what they really want. And that really, really sucks. And it actually makes me quite angry. And it's that anger that serves me to talk about it so much and share what I know to tracks like this. And in terms of this track for other people listening, man, it's massively motivating, isn't it? Especially for people who've had similar experiences as he's had. You know, he's telling us time and time again in this track how hard he has worked to make it. And that proves that people can do this if they put their mind to it and commit 100%. It's possible. Okay, so in intro, I listened to the track, and then I got the lyrics up at the end and I went through them line by line pretty much. I haven't done that in this track. I've done kind of the end bit I did in intro. I've done it throughout the track here, I feel. So as I've heard things, as I've thought about things, I've paused it and I've talked. Let me know which way around you prefer it. So that was my reaction to NF, All I Have. I hope you liked it. I'm going to try and squeeze in some other reactions that have been requested, but there is plenty more NF on the way. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.